my dream was one day to be able to go from A to B wherever I wanted to go. And I wanted to be able to do it by myself in my airplane. Hi, my name is Anna Serbienko. I was born and raised in Ukraine, and then I studied in Switzerland, Germany, traveled all over the place, all over the world, and I love traveling. So my dream was one day to be able to go from A to B wherever I wanted to go, and I wanted to be able to do it by myself in my airplane and piloting it myself, not piloting. Probably what I had in mind back then is more of a corporate jet. I found out that I had to learn on some small planes first. I inquired first in Switzerland. It was way too expensive. Pretty much the price we are paying here for a twin, that's what you pay for a single engine in Switzerland. And I was a student there. There's no way I could afford it. I inquired in Ukraine, and the only way was through the Air Force. And at that time, I had a newborn baby. So it wasn't an option for me at that time in my life either. So 10 days after I immigrated to Canada, somebody mentioned, oh, my son just got a pilot license. Okay, I want to know more about it. I went for my first FAM flight and discovered that it was more to it than just getting from one point to another, but there was the art of flying. It was something I've never experienced. I loved flying in an airliner as a passenger, but there was nothing like taking control of the plane, even if it was a little Cessna 152. And it was a love at first sight. Here I am 16 years later. When I started flying, I was not even thinking that I would be a professional pilot, commercial pilot. So I just did my private pilot license, and I didn't feel like I had enough training. I wanted to learn more. So I got my commercial license, still didn't feel like I had enough training, so I wanted to learn more. The natural combination was, by that time, I had been teaching for about 10 years in high schools and universities, primarily languages and mathematics. So teaching and flying naturally combined in flight instructing. That's what I'm still doing. And I was also, by that time, for about 12 years or so, was running my own business. So I thought I wanted to have my own flight school. So I was not even born when the school was started, but it has a nice story. It was founded by a high school teacher at Vancouver International on the South Terminal. And it's one of the oldest schools in Canada. And the founder was ready to retire about the time when I completed my instructor rating. So we are two partners in the school right now. Peter and I took over the school in 2009. It was a retiring flight school. Also, there was only a couple of planes, a couple of instructors, not much happening. And within less than 5 years, we were in the top 10 in Canada. So we have 26 aircraft right now, 2 locations in Vancouver and in Kamloops. And we are teaching everything from ab initio training to all the way to ATP, and of course, upset training, aerobatics, and all the fun stuff.
My uncle was a pilot. He was air race and aerobatic pilot. Then took me flying when I was a kid, but it wasn't something that I thought that I could do. Just being growing up in San Jose, middle class little girl, and when I went to school, I got asked by one of my buddies to go skydiving, and so I went out and went skydiving, and I had so much fun skydiving, and I just wanted to be in the sky all the time that I came home and told my parents that I had to learn how to fly. And since flying was my family, my father had a friend who had a tailcraft out of Watsonville, and he let me learn how to fly in the tailcraft. That was in part of my flying lessons in 1982, and in October of 82 I got my license. In February of 83, I've been flying for most of my life now.
Yeah.
I am now about 90 hours. I have 10,000 hours.
Jeez, it's way more than I got.
Quickly list the airplanes you can remember having flown.
Oh my gosh. How about the ones I've owned?
You can do that. The ones you've raced, the ones you performed in.
Yeah, okay. Well, I learned to fly in the tailcraft. Then I went out and bought myself a Luscombe. So I bought bought an airplane before I ever bought a house. As I like to say, you can sleep in an airplane, but you can't fly a house. Let's see, and then that led to a Debonair that I bought, and I bought a little helicopter, which I still have. I sold the Debonair, and then the Stearman, bought the Stearman, and bought a Duke, bought and sold the Duke, bought a King Air. We have a pair of carbon cubs. I coerced my husband into learning to fly. He learned to fly when we retired from work, or when he retired from work. The boss was going to give him a go watch, and I told the boss, "Don't give him a go watch. Give him flying lessons." So in front of about 200 people, he got a certificate for flying lessons. So and every time he'd go into the office, it'd be, "How those flying lessons going?" So he had to learn how to fly. Oh gosh, it's so much fun. I guess it's formation, flying in a hostile formation. So they're all your friends, but they all want to be in front of you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when you go fast around the race course close to the ground, time kind of slows down. It doesn't seem as fast as it really is.
Hello, everybody. I am Lieutenant Commander Callie, there in call sign Debbie. I'm a U.S. Navy fighter pilot. I got into aviation from my dad. He was a Air National Guard C-130 pilot out of Moffett. And I just remember growing up going to air shows like crazy. And I said, I want to do that, which was the fast ones. And I remember always dressing up in the flight suit and his helmet that he had. And then he basically told me, he's like, you got to go to college, you got to be an officer, you got to commission, and then that's your pipeline forward. I remember how I got hooked on aviation was he bought a experimental RV-8, and I was so excited, I was so stoked, and we went, and he was like, we're just going to work on the plane today, and we went, and we actually didn't work on the plane. He's like, get in, we're going, and I was hooked. And he would let me take the controls and fly. And then from there on, I went to UNR, majored in criminal justice, nothing to do with flying, and then went into the Navy to officer commissioning and worked really hard to get to the fighter pipeline, and then went on to fly F-18s and now F-16s. So that's kind of my claim to fame. I don't have a PhD, sorry. But yeah, the 18 has a different mission than the F-16. So the F-18 in the Navy turns, so we are meant to land on the ship and do everything. We are supposed to be doing the air-to-air mission, the air-to-surface mission, while landing on a very short strip on the ship. The F-16 has a different role, depends on what your mission is for your unit. For my unit, it is adversary. So we train the F-18s to fight China and Russia by being the bad guy. So we go really, really fast while the F-18 goes a little bit slower and does a few different things. But it is a rocket compared to the F-18.